On today's ChurchTechCast.com screencast show, 5 things you didn't know ProPresenter could do. Hi, and welcome again to another episode of the ChurchTechCast.com screencast show. This is the show where every week I help you with the software that we use in the church. My name is Paul Allen Clifford. I'm your host, and I'd love for you to ask your questions and join the conversation, so just do that below the video. Now, if you're subscribed to the podcast, which you can do by heading over to trinitydigitalmedia.com/subscribe, then there's no good way to leave it underneath the video because it just shows up in your device or it shows up in your on your computer automatically and for free. So how do you do that? No problem. Just go to trinitydigitalmedia.com and look for one of the screencasts. Leave your question or comment under there. That's a great way to do it. So I was thinking, what has impressed me about ProPresenter? What is something that we haven't talked about? And quite frankly, it's that there are tons of capabilities that I think that most churches do not take advantage of. One of these is my personal favorite. I think that it was the thing that when I discovered it, I was truly impressed by. A couple of them are actually related to an article that's going to be in Church Production coming up about controlling your worship software or having your worship software control other things. So those are a couple of key things as well. And then there are a couple of things that if you think a little outside the box, you might be able to get some additional capability out of ProPresenter. So I thought that we would head over to my computer and take a look at some of these different things that you can get when you use ProPresenter to do some kind of out-of-the-box thinking. So let's head over and take a look. So the first thing that ProPresenter can do, and this is one of my very favorite tricks, is that you can simply use ProRes 4444 files. Now they're much bigger than your normal H.264 files, but they have one added benefit: transparency. So this file right here, you can see right here, and it has a black background. But if we go to background here and I click this background, you can see that I have immediately changed it. If I go over here, I can change it to this. So this is a transparent video. Where it's black, it's actually transparent, and I have these, I can change to any background I want. So that is something that I find particularly cool. Here, let me clear all on that so that we can talk about the next cool thing that you might not know ProPresenter can do. So there are modules in ProPresenter that a lot of churches do not use, and if you don't need them, it's not worth the extra money to buy them. But if you do need these modules, they can save you all kinds of effort. So right here, if we go into modules, you'll see that we have several different ones. The ones that I want to talk about today are the multi-screen module, the communications module, and the MIDI module. And we're just going to go ahead and click demo this since I'm already in the demo version. I really don't care that it shows the ProPresenter Renewed Vision product logo here because It's just gonna. So the first thing that I want to suggest to you is the communications module, which is actually, it has two capabilities. And you can buy, if we go back to modules here, you can buy just the MIDI module by itself if you want to do this first trick. And the first one is you use MIDI notes from something like Ableton, looping music software, to control ProPresenter. You might be thinking, well, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to have the music team control ProPresenter, which is what they can do? Well, it's very simple. If the worship leader decides to skip verse 2 and gives a hand signal to the person controlling the computer, or if the worship leader has a MIDI USB pedal that they use to skip through loops to different parts, every single time the lyrics will come up at the right point if this is set up correctly. So you can set it up in the software where it sends a MIDI note to ProPresenter. ProPresenter recognizes that note and says, oh, I need to go to verse 2. And you would be able, that would happen automatically, quickly and easily, without an operator knowing. And that's pretty cool. You might want to have an operator ready just in case, but it's nice to know that even if the operator wasn't there, you would be totally cool. If the operator got distracted, it's okay, it's all automated. So that's the first thing. The second thing is also in the communications module, and that is RS-232 control. So a lot of video switchers have the ability to send out an RS-232 command, and with the communication module, you can basically have ProPresenter listen for this command and advance to the next item. So the technical director who's running the switcher can hit a roll clip button on the switcher, and that will advance the next item without having to talk to an operator or something like that. So it could make just that piece of the puzzle a little bit simpler. So that's the second thing that you can do as well, is using the communications module, use RS-232 control to have your switcher control ProPresenter. Next, let's talk about this multi-screen module. Now, first off, I'm going to change this to the triple screen, and this is really designed to work with the Matrox triple head to go, or in the case of the dual screen, the dual head to go. But if you have those, you'll notice that with this module, you can have different settings with different layouts. So potentially, if you include the stage display, you can have 4 different layouts going at once. With ProPresenter 6, the stage display can sometimes show what's on the main display and sometimes show what's just lyrics or whatever you want, because you have cues that you can add to certain slides to change that. So that's one screen. Then you have these 3 in the triple head to go that maybe screen 2 shows the props, screen 1 shows slides, screen 2 does not, screen 3 does, and then screen 3 doesn't show the video image, screen 2 does. You see how it goes? And live video you could put just on screen 3. So you have the ability to put different things on each of these screens, and each of these layouts here where it says new setting, that can be a cue on a slide, so you can go through several different iterations of what you want showing up on what screen. Have that set up ahead of time, and that just happens as you're going through your church service. So that's something that is really cool as well. Finally, I don't have a good screen for this, but it's something that you should know. There are RF remotes that work on radio frequencies that are designed for presenters to use in like a presentation, office, business meeting kind of situation, that depending on where your computer is located, your pastor might be within the 60 feet or so that that it would need to be to control this. So you could potentially have the worship leader with Ableton Live, for example, control the song service, then have the pastor with one of these RF remotes control the sermon notes, and really combine jobs that way. I'm not saying that that's the best way to do it. In general, I prefer to have a person that's really engaged to control in both of those situations, but it could be that your pastor is kind of hard to follow, but has no problem clicking a button on the remote. If that's the case, maybe that's a better solution for you. If your worship leader either forgets where they're going or changes their mind quickly or hears from the Holy Spirit, doesn't matter what the source is. What matters is if the worship leader changes that and makes the change in Ableton Live while the song is going, you don't have to worry about trying to guess which verse you're on or which chorus if there's a couple that are slightly different. It would just automatically change. So those are 5 things that I think are really cool that, depending on your situation, might just be perfect for you using, especially in this case, ProPresenter 6. Well, I hope that helped you. I hope that now you're thinking, oh, that would save me some manpower, or, oh, now we can combine those videos and do something really cool, or, just, hey, the pastor was asking for that, and now I know we can do it. Any of those things, well, I'm glad to have helped you. If you like this content, you'd probably like my email newsletter, so head on over to trinitydigitalmedia.com/gifts, GIFTS, and there you can pick up a free church tech gift of your choosing, along with a free subscription to my email newsletter. Also, don't forget that this content is provided to you free of charge, so if you need some church tech training, check out what I've got at the store, trinitydigitalmedia.com/store, and pick up some of that stuff. I made it with you in mind, and so it's my hope that I can either help you advance your skills or help you save some time in training others in the use of church tech. Until next time, this is Paul Allen Clifford with trinitydigitalmedia.com. Go out and change eternity.